Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vessel of Hope. And thank you all for joining us today. It's Tuesday. So I'm here to give you a Tuesday goodness, your Tuesday greatness, your Tuesday time to step away from the work week and what's going on in the world for us to have a conversation. And there's a lot that's happening in the world. And I thank you all so much for those of you that are joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So here's what I need for you to do for me today. If you have a moment, I give you a moment. If you don't have a moment, I will give you that moment. You hear? You know, as they say, redeeming the time. I will redeem this moment for you, right? To go ahead and like, love, and share. For those of you there that are on Facebook, thank you so much. Don't forget to share, to give some love, right? Show the love, share it on your wall, and also follow Vessel of Hope. Follow Vessel of Hope. Someone might see and say, hey, what's that girl wearing glasses saying? What's she saying? Let me hear what she's saying, right? And for those of you there that are on YouTube, go ahead and like and click the notification bar and follow the page as well. Subscribe to YouTube and follow on Facebook so you can know when we go live and what's happening, right? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you all so much. So today we are gonna be talking about mic check. Mic check. I was gonna name this mic check 1, 2, 3, but I was like, don't get slap happy. Don't get slap happy, Marcelle. You're doing too much. Like Apostle like to say you're doing too much, you know. And I'll say to Apostle like, I think you're doing too much. So we tell each other you're doing too much, you know. So I'm like, Marcelle, you're doing too much. You don't need to do all that right now, right? So we're just gonna be talking about mic check. We're gonna talk about mic checks. I gave you 2 seconds, your time to redeem, to go ahead and do your like, love, and your share. And I thank you for doing this for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. So we're talking about mic check today. So before we really delve into mic checking and all this good stuff, why do you think people mic check? Right? Let's conversate. Why do you think people mic check? I know a lot of you probably like, well, I'm not really in that kind of I was like, my pillow is twisted. But you know, the monitor here is making everything look a little different. Why that pillow is upside down? What's up with that? But it's not. Something going on up here, right? Right. So why do we mic check? And a lot of you probably like, well, probably George, you're probably like, well, Mr. Marcelle, we don't do all of that stuff. We don't mic check. We don't understand what's going on with the mic check and stuff. But hey, there's reasons why we mic check. It's basically to make sure that the sound is good. That's basically why you mic check. You want to make sure that the sound is good. And there's 3 particular things about checking your mic and about mic checking. No, we're all gonna flow. We're gonna flow all of this into one big old conversation, right? Right, Professor Loretta? We're gonna flow all of this into one big old conversation with the mic checking. But there's 3 things, 3 main things why the mic check to make sure the sound is good. Those 3 things is for the sound quality, right? You mic check for the sound quality. You mic check for the volume, and you might check for feedback. So the sound quality, volume, and feedback. And for those of you that have ever entered into a healing sanctuary service, you know, oh my Lord, it's so funny when we set up at a hotel, when we go to a hotel, or even in church. We go early Sunday morning. Apostle, she'll check the mic, even though it's checked and you know it's good. We'll always do a mic check. And before we do the mic check, we turn the system on. I make sure I always have some earplugs or some cotton or some tissue. These go in my ears because I'm not playing. Because you know Apostle like loud, right? You know loud. Some of the people, mother people in the back there. I just realized we don't have a mic. Y'all, this is not even planned. Like, honest to God truth. I've just realized because I was going to grab the mic and say mic check in it. And I just realized I don't have a mic. And I mean, you all know Vessel of Hope. Not one of you could have said, Pastor Marcelle, there's no mic there. Or Pastor Marcelle, we're not hearing it clearer. Oh, my Lanta. Yo. You don't even want to understand the week we've had, the life we've had thus far. That's why there's no mic. But we're going to keep going until this mic arrives. Okay? Okay? Mic check is to confirm. Yes, thank you, Prophet Lawyer. But, yo, that is so funny that I just realized. And I blame that on me because that's my task. That's my job. My job is to bring the mic. I bring out the mic every Monday night to set it up here. So that's all on me. I don't even know what happened. Last night was yesterday was Monday. What's today?
Yeah.
Tuesday, right? Yesterday, see, we don't even know. Yesterday was Monday, and Monday nights after our live, I usually bring the mic, that mic out and set it here. So I don't even know how I forgot to do that. You know, the devil is a lie. But let's
You have to
continue.
rush it. You have to rush it.
Yeah, we were rushing. Yeah, we had to rush out. So we were trying to like do as much as we could. But we got it now. We got it. We hear you clear. Thank you, Props Loretta. Props Loretta, because you got good ears. You hear everything, right? So when Mike so when Mike checking, right? So Mike check three things again. The sound quality, the volume, and the feedback. It helps you hear yourself effectively. That's basically what a mic check is for. It helps you hear yourself effectively. You all will hear the difference. This is so perfect. God just worked this way. Because you all will hear the difference when the microphone is plugged in and I begin to speak through the microphone as to you hearing through the computer. You will hear the mic check, how it sounds so different, how it sounds so much better. And that is what a mic check is really for. It's for you to hear things better, to get it clearer, a clearer sound through your speakers. You're sitting there and you might probably be like, that doesn't apply to me. But we will get to how it applies to you. You hear the difference now? I know you can hear it. You can hear the quality is different. This is our mic check, which we didn't do. Y'all, only Father God knows.
Long,
It's a yes, it's been a long.
long year.
Yeah, and the year just started. Oh, but you know what? You know what's so funny, Apostle? As I'm gonna talk to you while I'm talking to everyone at the same time. What's so funny? The Lord just keep reminding me that last week we talked about expect the unexpected, and I was laughing, and all the Lord kept saying. Remember last week you talked about expect the unexpected, right? Things you learn, what we learned about in January, takeaways from January. We're still learning to expect the unexpected. Literally, we are still learning to expect the unexpected, right? So again with the mic check, to hear the quality, right? You hear the quality and the sound of it. And I'm sure right now you're probably saying, yeah, we can hear that. It sounds a little different. So it's mainly to make sure that your ears are not hurting, that it's not bleeding, that everything sounds good. That's what you need to do in life sometimes. You need to make your own mic check. Make sure that you got a mic, first of all. To do a mic check. But that's what you need to do in life. You need to do a mic check. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Pick up the microphone and make sure. It's interesting. Is the funny thing is that not funny, but we were at my uncle's funeral. They set up the mic and everything, and we're sitting and we're ready and so on. And Apostle's like, go ahead and check the mic. And I'm like, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not checking on mic. Anybody got time for that right now? Let's get this service going, right? Because I was coordinating the service. Like, let's get this service going, right? So she's like, no, let's check it before the service starts. I'm not doing that. So she goes and she taps the mic and nothing's coming out. She taps the mic and she looks at me. She's like, "You see why we need to do a mic check?" And I'm looking at her like, "That's okay. I would have talked without a mic. I got no problem. I would have talked without the mic. This would not bother me at all, right?" So she checks the mic and she makes sure that everything sounds good, that we had sound, that we were able to hear stuff. So that's really mainly what mic check is for, and what you need to do in life as well. You need to tap your mic to make sure that there's sound coming out. You need to check that mic in your life, right? Right? This did it sometimes. So and when you do the mic check, you're trying to make sure that everything work out well, right? Maybe you just need some time. Sometimes maybe you just need someone to be like, hey, you know what? We need to fine tune some things. We need to make some things work a little well. And when you're doing mic check, right? When you do mic check in your life, make sure you have qualified people to do that check. Make sure. Make sure you have qualified people to do that check. I remember when we were in the building and we got the new system, the new sound system. It was how many gears it had?
It's 34 channels.
34 channels. Some of you, I don't really understand. But the 34 channels means you can plug in 34 things in it, microphones and amps and all this. And it was digital. So our old sound guy, he's like, I don't really know about digital. I don't know about digital. I know about plugging in and carrying the wires around. So we got the new digital one. So we had to find someone that was qualified. But we needed something real. We needed something for the first time we had it, for them when they were plugging out the old system. We needed to hear. We needed some sound because we had to plug the keyboard in and the drums mic. So we needed something to be plugged in, right? So we got an old sound guy who didn't understand the new system, but he said, okay, I'm going to give you something, just a little sound for the Sunday, because it was a Saturday before. Just a little sound for the Sunday. We're going to plug something in and give you some sound. And so he tried his best. We had some sound, but the quality wasn't the best. It wasn't that great. Apostle monitor was good. She was enjoying her monitors, but it wasn't that great for what the system was able to do until I had to Google and find someone. No, we called a company and sent us someone that understood digital soundboard sound system to come in to set us up so we could hear it better. So I said all that to say, when you're doing a mic check, make sure you have qualified people. Because if you just have a random person telling you about things, gonna be like that has not a clue what they're doing. You're sitting there like, okay, wow, yeah. Even though our old sound guy is good in sound, he was able to give Apostle some monitor so she can hear herself. But the house sound wasn't that great until we got someone else qualified to work a digital system that was able to give the monitor sound and the house sound to make everything sound better. So when you're doing your mic check, make sure you have qualified people, not a fake sound guy. Make sure you have a good sound guy, right? Because have you ever talked to someone that can't cook about a new recipe? It doesn't work well because they're looking at you like, I don't even know I just put salt and pepper and that's it. And you're like, no, if you put a little basil on it, maybe some parsley and a tip of oregano, you put some lars on that, put a lot of garlic, some garlic salt on it, and all of this stuff, and they're looking at you like, but I just use salt and pepper. Right? They're not qualified. They're not qualified to try a new recipe because that's not their forte. It's like you go into your doctor and you telling your doctor about your car problem. Yeah, I think it's my engine, and the doctor's not there to deal with your car. The doctor's there to deal with your physical state. It's like you go into your butcher and you're telling your butcher, yeah, my the plumbing is not working too well, and what do you think? You think I should screw this out? He's a butcher. He's not a plumber. So you have to make sure when you mic check, there's qualified people there. You get what I'm saying? Come on now, prophetess guy. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure now that's good sound. You see, Prophet Loretta, I told you. Mic check 1, 2. You have to make sure that there's effective and qualified people that when you're checking your sound. Don't try to go to someone that has not a clue what you're talking about, right? It won't work. It won't work when you go to people that are not qualified because it's not in their field. Mic check help the people that is there to say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We got to tune that. We got to twist that a little bit because they're qualified. It's like though it's like what's kind of funny too is like the people that have like 10 failed marriages, they want to give you marriage advice. Something's wrong unless they're saying, hey, these are the 10 things that I did in my marriage that made my marriage fail. I get it. But if they're trying to give you marriage advice and they had 10 failed marriages, sit back and think about that. Something's off there. Are they really qualified? Mic check. You got to mic check them. So again, remember that mic check is the sound quality, the volume, and the feedback. So when you mic check, you are making sure that what people are saying to you have these 3 things, right? You're making sure they have these 3 things. So let's break down the 3 things real quick, right? The first thing is the sound quality. You're making sure that the sound quality is good. And what is the sound quality in layman terms or in our terminology? Is that it's not itchy ears. You're making sure it's not itchy ears, but there's substance in it. Right? You're making sure when someone is telling you, you're not having the itchy ears, but there's substance in it. So that's sound quality. What's Prophet Retta say? You must have qualified. That's why it's giving. Let me just wipe my nose. My nose. The weather is something else. Yeah. So again, the sound quality you have to make when you have sound quality, you make sure that it's not just itchy ears. That whatever someone is saying to you, that is substance in it. That it's making sense. You have to make it make sense. Sound quality let you know if you have too much bass or treble or all that good stuff that comes into music, etc., etc. It's making sure that everything is even out, that is a balance. I know if you're sitting in apostles' course, you love a lot of bass. You're like, oh, you hear that bass? Oh, the bass is too low. Let's turn that up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit, right? So sound qualities bring to your liking. That's what that is. And sometimes we sit down and we talk to people that will tell us things that's to our liking. Not things that will affect that thing that will edify us or make us be better, but because you say, you know what, this I like what they're saying, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take what that person's saying because that makes me feel good. So we have to be careful with even with the sound quality, because what sounds good to you may not sound good to everyone else. You ever sitting at a stop sign and someone pull up beside you and their music is so loud and everything boom 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 boom, and you're like, are they, can they hear themselves? It's just like noise going on. It's like noise that's happening in there. You over there like, what in the world is going on? But to them, that's music to their ears. To them, that's sweet sensation. But to you who on the other side, who in your car with your music on nice and low, or if you're like me, you have 1010 on because you want to listen to the radio, or if I feel like I want to give Mother P a treat in the car, I'll put on Christmas music. That's the best gonna go Christmas music, right? Right? And that's common. That's nice to me. But you're like, how are they enjoying that? But that's their mic check. That's their quality, right? But it's not to you, but it's to their liking. So we have to be careful as well for when people tell us things. That is their quality, but it may not be your quality. Not every coat fits you. If someone else someone's wearing a extra small and you wear a large, but they say, oh, it's cold, let me give you my extra small coat, you're gonna be like walking around like this, right? Because it wouldn't fit you, because their quality, their sound check is not suitable for you. Because it works for them, it's not going to work for you. So sometimes we have to be careful with the advice that we receive. Make sure it's sound advice. Maybe there's wisdom. Make sure there's wisdom in there, because some people can tell you some things and you're like, what? That doesn't make no sense. That worked for you, that didn't work for me. See, prophetess guy says sometimes it's annoying. And you're right. Sometimes it's very annoying. I'm always like, can they breathe? Can they breathe with that loud thing going on in their ears? Because if those of you who know, I don't really like things so loud. That's why the other day, it was like, well, 4 o'clock like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're coming home, right? And I'm now getting ready to go in Apostle's Jeep, and I opened I opened the door. And Apostle, because she wanted to get her car out of the garage, and her music is loud. And it's loud. And soon I opened it, I said, not tonight. I said, turn that down, not tonight. Now, it's not my car, and I'm going in being all demanding, but I'm like, not like I can't deal with this now. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. Why are you playing this music so loud? 3 o'clock, poor Mother P's going in the back seat, and she's just ready to sit down and just throw back and get home. And I'm like, not tonight. Turn that down. Oh, and it was a particular person that I that I didn't like to hear. And I'm like, no, it's gonna disturb my spirit. Not tonight. Apostle just started laughing. She just started crying. I'm laughing and turning down. I was like, oh my God. But the sound quality is good for others, but may not be good for you. So again, when you're doing your mic check, your sound quality, just like when someone is telling you something that is not right, right? It's not right. They're telling you a story. It's not right. You're like, the story is only one angle. You're looking at it that way. They're looking at it that way. They're telling you a story. It's like, this is a one angle story. Something is not right. I was talking to my cousin the other day. We were talking about something. We were talking about something, and she was like, something's off with this guy. And I was cracking up, and Apostle looked at me. She was like, that's what Marcelle says all the time. And I was like, yes. And I was like, yes, I feel something is off. And she's like, something's off with this guy. It's like the sound quality is not right. The sound, he sounds good. He looks the part, but something's off. The sound quality. So we have to be careful. Someone's telling a story. Someone's saying something. What's that sound quality? Something is off. And many of you know I don't boast in a lot of things, but I boast in the gift that the Lord has given to me of the spirit of discernment. I'm like, nope. You said one word. I'm like, like I was telling Apostle something today, and I was breaking it. I was bringing it down for Apostle, and I was like, but this and this and this. But if you look at this and this, and it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Backtrap. I'm trying to not to be long. Backtrap, right? Last night, like 3 o'clock in the morning. No, sorry, in the morning. 3 o'clock this morning. We came in the house, right? So we're going up, we're getting ready to go to bed. I give Apostle my good night. So I'm laying down and I'm processing my day. So I pick up my phone and I call Apostle. She's in the other room because I'm not getting back up to this. So I call Apostle. And I was like, and you know what? No, no, I didn't call her first. I got up first. The first time I got up and I went in her room and I was like, I was laying down, something. Telling and she's like, yeah, okay, okay. So I go back. She's like, go to bed, have a good sleep. So I go to bed and I lay down, and my brain started rolling again. My thought process, my sound quality wasn't too. I was doing some mic checks while I was processing. So I call her and I was like, and something else too, so and so and so and so. And she's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to bed now. She said, I'll be here if you need me. And like 5 minutes later, I'm going to see, I jump up again and I call her back and I was like, and something else. And I know she's laughing. She's cracking up. But here, I'm laying down and I'm processing my day and I'm doing sound checks. I'm doing mic checks and I'm looking at listening to sound qualities and saying, it's not adding up in my brains. Things are not making sense. And that's what you do sound check for. Things are not making sense. Not because someone says something, you run with it and say, oh yeah, this is what it is. It may not be the golden truth. They're just saying something. So when we do mic check, make sure the quality, again, the sound quality. And the second thing with mic check is the volume. Don't forget the volume. Make sure the volume is affected, that it's not drowning out things, right? Make sure the volume that you're hearing when your mic check, it's not drowning out things. In a natural aspect, make sure what people are saying to you does not drown out your morals or your principle or your spiritual beliefs. Because people can tell you some things, right? And you're saying again, oh, that makes sense. But is it drowning out your morals? Is it drowning out your spiritual belief? Is it taking away the principles that you learn, Sister Tanel? Is it taking away the principle of the things that you have understanding in? The value. And you know what I don't like? When someone's voice is louder in your ears than God's voice, or common sense voice, I would say. My cousin said something the other day. We were talking about something, and my cousin said something. She said, my aunt, man, I have education, but she's quick. She's quick on that common sense. She's like, she picks up things real quick. And that's true. Mother P don't play. Mother P doesn't, she's not high in education. She came out of school like in elementary school days. But she's quick on stuff. You tell her story. Junior high school. You tell Mother P something. That don't make sense. She jumping out real quick. She said, She said, no, but you just said you took the umbrella because you looked outside and it was raining. When you stepped outside, it was raining. And then all of a sudden, you said you went to your car, you went home, you went to work, and then you telling me that you left the umbrella in the house? Something not right, but you just told me that you took the umbrella, you went outside, it was raining, went to your car, you went to work, and then I tell me you left the umbrella in the house. How many umbrellas you got? That's what people say. How many umbrellas you got? And I say, and you know what? Sometimes what's so sad about believers or Christians or people that are Christians or love the Lord or say they love the Lord or so forth, is that we hear something and we run with it real quick. Yeah. You're like, what? That makes no sense, because a predominantly famous person says it, or someone that you may think is a great believer or whatever it is said it, so you run with it because that person says it. But sit down and think about it. The volume in that. The value is so high, it's drowning out your ears that it makes no sense. You know, people always like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. You're like, why you keep telling me what I should do? I'm always like, you my mother? Are you my mother? All right. The other day, Apostle Mother P said something to Apostle again. That's Apostle said, Mother P made me feel like I was a little kid. She said so and so and so and so. And got me all thinking that she really had to listen to her to do that. And I was cracking up. Because Mother P and her little old self still have volume in what she says, right? But we have to be careful with the volume of things that we allow in our ears, Sister Kim, right? We have to be careful of the value of things that we allow people to say to us, and we run with it and we say, oh, this makes sense, when it really doesn't make sense. You have to sit down and evaluate some things or some slogans or some saying. You're like, what? That had nothing to do with nothing. Where did that come from? I'm usually like, I'm like, what? This is why if I'm going to sing, we're talking about something, I'm going to change something. If I'm telling Apostle something and I'm like, and then I'll say, this have nothing to do with nothing what we're talking about, but it just came in my brain, so let me just say it. And then I'll go back to what I was saying before, because you have to make sure that we make a distinction, differentiate. And then sometimes someone will tell you a story and another story, and they try to merge it together, but you say, no, it's three different stories. It's three different stories. Let's break it down because the volume of it is not making sense. It's too loud in my ears. So we have to be careful again. Make sure the volume is effective and it's not drowning out your morals or principle or your spiritual belief. People that say, just do it, no one to see, right? And it always cracked me up. No one to see. God sees. That means you don't fear God, because God sees. Oh, no one to see. The pastor's not here. That pastor's not here. The bishop's not here. The reverend's not here. They don't know, but God sees. That God sees. God sees. Their volume is so loud that it's drowning out your morals. It's drowning out your principles. Or God understand. Just asking for forgiveness, right? That's okay. God understand. Just ask God for forgiveness. You having a conversation, someone's having a conversation, and then they're cussing up a storm, and it's like, oh Lord, oh God, forgive me. Oh, that's okay. God understand. Just me and you. Just asking for forgiveness. Finish your story, girl. Cause why you want to curse, and then just finish your story afterwards, right? What is that about? The volume of someone is so loud in your ears, is drowning out your morals, is drowning out your principles, right? You need to do a mic check. We need to do a mic check on that. Mic check on our volume. Sometimes we need to mute some people, and we need to make some other people louder. I'm just saying. Sometimes the people you have louder are the ones that you need to mute, and the people that you have muted are the ones you need to turn their volume up. I'm just saying. But we're gonna walk away. Let me mic check, drop the mic, brap, and walk away. Right? Right. So let's do a mic check. Let's do a mic check. You should always make sure that what others say is not more important than what God is saying to you. Always make sure. That's what Apostle say all the time. If she say, we should do, we have decision and so on. What should we do? I always say to her, what is God saying? Because if God already says something, my opinion does not matter. My opinion is null and void, because God's voice is the loudest. His volume is higher than anything else. So we should always make sure that God that what God is saying is louder and it's higher than what anyone else is saying, even though it sounds like, some people say, I feel God is saying this, or I hear God saying this in my life, and someone else is saying, no, I don't think God is saying that. I don't think God would say that, but but that wouldn't make much sense for God to say. But why would God say that? That wouldn't work out that way. That wouldn't look right this way. That wouldn't move. That don't make no sense. And what happens? What is that? You're muting God, and you're turning the volume up on what everyone else is saying, because you know what? They're saying God is saying that. God is not saying that. That makes no sense. So what? You're listening to what others are saying. You need to mute that person and listen. When we were in the building, I used to love to be in the sound room, because I'm ready to mute everybody. I'm muting everybody. Everyone. You come in and you're singing and someone is off, your mic is being mute. Or the preacher's preaching and they're saying something that's contrary or that's against the word of God, you're being mute too. I'm ready. I'm always ready to mute. I'm always ready to mute a mic, because what? You don't want that stuff to get into people's spirit. And there's nothing more annoying than listening to someone like a what I like to say in Guyana, it's like an empty barrel. Empty. You ever had an empty barrel when Mother P used to send barrels home to Guyana, and the empty barrel, and the first thing she drop inside, and you're like, oh my gosh. That's why you need to do a mic check, because a lot of people are just empty barrels, and all they're doing is making noise. So you have to make sure that volume, right, is adjusting. You know what? You're my friend. I love you. I know that you care for me. I know you're trying your best, but I'm going to have to turn you down a little bit, because you're overshadowing principle. You're overshadowing morals, right? You're overshadowing things that really is going to help me to grow. You're overshadowing the sermon that was just preached on Sunday. You're overshadowing the prayer line message that came last night. So I'm going to have to mute you, right? Because you're contrary to what God just said. You know what's more annoying? You receive a word from the Lord, and that word is powerful. You're like, oh, the man, pastor really preached the word. Oh, it's good. And then someone is talking, and you're like, and they're saying the opposite of what was just preaching. You're like, didn't you just hear the word? Didn't you just hear what just preacher supposed to run with that? Oh, I know, but I know that's what apostle said, but that's not for me. Or that don't make no sense. That don't sit right with me. Well, you know what? You need to shut up, because it's in my spirit. It's lifting me up. I feel like I can run through troops and I can leap over walls after that. If you don't feel that way, your volume needs to be muted. again, I love to be in the sound because I love to mute. Mic check, right? So remember, so remember that. Do not allow others. Do not allow the voices of others to be louder than the voice of God in your life. Okay, and finally, feedback. So we did our sound quality, our volume, and finally feedback, right? The feedback in the sounding ways is if you have two speakers that are just clashing with the mic, and you guys hear when you hear that, that's a feedback. That's feedback. That's annoying. That's annoying in your ears. When we will go to a hotel and apostle and we're setting up the system, and it's mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, and then she'll turn the monitor, she'll turn the mic check, and or she'll like hit the drums and turn it. I'm like, oh, people, I can't. Right? It hurts your ears in your oh, my teeth. Oh my gosh. I'm always like, and apostle's like, why you putting tissue in your ears? Because my teeth is being edged with all. I can't, my teeth, right? So we have to be careful with the feedback. With the feedback, when we're doing our mic check, there will be feedbacks, because not everything's gonna, it's not gonna always sound good. You know, it's not gonna always sound great. It's not gonna always sound wonderful, And sometimes when people come to you for advice, or they want to have a conversation with you, they expect you to always tell them things that sounds great, that is wonderful. No, sometimes you're gonna get a feedback. Sometimes things are gonna sound annoying. Sometimes things are gonna sound like it really hurts, but it's good for you. You got to take that pain, man. You got to take that pain. You got to take that. Sometimes you have to take that harsh criticism. Sometimes you have to take that roughness that comes, because not all feedbacks are good. Feedback let you know something's off. We need to still adjust some things. We need still adjust some things. And sometimes that's what a lot of believers need. They need a lot of feedback to adjust some things. Because I say it all the time. We're no man is perfect. If we're perfect, we sitting in the grave, or we sit with Jesus. Done. Right? No man is perfect. So there's always going to be some feedback, some tuning. You know what? No, I'm going to have to turn that bass down a little bit. I'm going to have to lift that treble up a little bit. No, 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 no. That timbre is doing a little too much. Oh, gonna have to fix that. We're going to have to balance out the sound. The harmony is not too good. Let's get the alto and the soprano a little down, because the tenor is only one tenor. It's 10 alto, 10 soprano. Let's bring up the tenor mic so it can be a little, so you can be even. We need that. Sometimes we need that feedback, right? And this shouldn't be constricting information, not something to just pin you down or hold you down. Yes, like fingernails on a, oh my god, absolutely. Oh, Prophet Loretta, oh, just got the chills on that. Oh my gosh, yes, that's what it's like. Oh, that's what that feedback is like. That's how it does to my teeth. And I'm like, oh, my teeth, I can't. Oh, my ears, I can't. Right? That's exactly what it's like, right? Right? If it doesn't sound in feedback, if it doesn't sound like it makes sense and it doesn't blend well, you're gonna get a feedback on it. And that's why I always say this. I know you'll hear me say it all the time. If you're gonna share information with me, share all the information. Just tell me everything. Pastor Marcel, let me tell you. So. It doesn't matter if you're gonna take an hour to tell me. Break down the information. Because when you break it down, okay, good. Okay, now, okay, good. Now everything's blended together. Everything is making sense. Everything is making sense. But again, if you tell me you left the house with an umbrella and it's raining outside, you went in your car, you got to work, but then there's no umbrella. You left your umbrella at home. Something doesn't make sense. It's not blending right. The feedback is not right. We need to look at that. We need to evaluate that. We need to think about that. So what others say, again, shouldn't clash with what God is saying. Again, mic check. This is what we need to do. This is what you need to do. Mic check the people that are giving you advice. Mic check them. Be like, mic check, mic check. Is this quality? Is this volume? How's the volume on this? How's the feedback on this? Mic check the people that are giving you advice. You also need to mic check the people that are giving your kids, your loved ones advice, your kids advice. Someone ever said to you, oh, this person says so and so, like something Mother P, Lord Jesus, I don't mean to talk about Mother P. Mother P, she have her friends, her older people like her, and they say some stuff. They just make up stuff, and she'll come tell me, and I was like, where did you hear that? That don't make no sense. What are they saying? Oh, they heard it on the news. What news? What time? What channel? Let me Google it, because that don't make no sense. Like one time, someone said to Mother P, you don't need your passport, right? You don't need your passport to travel. This was like way before the real ID came out. All you need is your real ID for international. He's like, all you need is a real ID, so why have a passport? And she was like, yeah, they said all you need is a real ID. This was before New York State required that you have to have a real ID. And I'm like, I don't. And I'm like, okay, so Mother P, why don't you go on a plane? Say you go to Guyana and just go with a real ID. See if you can get there. She's like, no, they said it. And I was like, oh, find out this person take their real ID plus their passport to travel. But they tell Mother P, you don't need a passport. I'm like, this don't make no sense. See what I'm saying? The quality, right? Mic check on the people, the advice people are giving you. Also, mic check what they're speaking to your kids, right? Mic check the people that are in your ears. That's one of the most important things. Mic check the people that are in your ears. Always mic check them. Mic check the quality, the sound quality, the volume, and the feedback. Mic check them, because not everything that's, you remember before they used to be like facts check. Mic check the people that are in your ears, not because they're your best friend, not because they give good advice, mean that it's correct advice for you, And I always say this too, not because the doctor, not the one medication, this one same medication not going to work for the whole world. Same with the vaccine. They're giving out a vaccine to people. It affects everyone differently, right? Because all our body types are not the same. So not because the advice that someone is giving you worked well for the 5 other people, your situation is different. Your body is different. Everything about you is different. So it may not work for you. So mic check it. Mic check it. I'm not saying be critical. No one can talk to me, give me advice. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we have to be vigilant. We have to be wise about who's speaking to us. Mic check it. Just like how you sit here and you listen to me, you're not expecting me to be telling you share nonsense. And I hope I haven't been telling you share nonsense. I hope the mic check that I've been saying to you make a little bit of sense, right? Mic check me, right? Mic check me. Every mic should have a monitor. Every mic should have a monitor, should have a moderator. And this is what you need to do. Your mic should have a monitor. You should be able to be like, nope, I'm muting you. Nope, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. You know what? You need a little more bass. Nope, you know what? Your treble needs to turn down. You're not making no sense. You need to turn down, right? So here's what. Why do we need to mic check, right? Because it just makes everything okay, right? It makes everything okay. What was that? Mitter, yeah. It makes everything okay. That's Mitter. Oh, Milter. Sorry. Right, Milter? It makes everything okay. That is why we need to mic check it, because it's going to make everything okay. So I'll leave you with the one scripture before we go. 2 Corinthians 13:5 is the Good News translation. 2 Corinthians 13:5, Good News translation. It said this: put yourself to the test and judge yourself. Isn't that interesting? Do you guys realize that the Bible tells us to judge yourself? People always like, oh, I can't judge. No, but you gotta judge yourself, right? Judge yourself too, right? Here we go on. Put yourself to the test and judge yourselves to find out whether you are living in faith. Come on now. Judge yourself to find out whether you are living in faith. Surely you know that Christ Jesus is in you, unless you have completely failed. I mean, there's not much to say about that. Judge yourself. Might check yourself. But like, you know what? Nope. I need to make sure the quality is fine here. I need to make sure this volume is good. This feedback is not sounding too right. Judge yourself, even yourself, as you give out advice. Judge yourself, because sometimes you can be malicious in the things you say to others, because maybe you want to see them fail. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. Maybe you don't want to see them succeed. Maybe you want to see them fail. Maybe, whatever it is, you can be malicious. Oh, I don't like them. I don't like that family. So, and that person genuinely want to hear from you, but you're telling them nonsense or nonsensical. So again, put yourself to the test. Mic check. Put yourself to the test. How is your volume? How is your sound quality? How is that working for you? Put yourself to the test and judge yourself. Judge yourself. Judge yourself. And don't go around, but you can't judge me. Yeah, people can judge you, but you got to judge yourself too. Judge yourself. Judge yourself to find out whether you are living in the faith. Are you living in the faith? Again, the mic check. Those things you have in your ears. Are you living in the faith? Is this quality making sense? Am I putting this person before the things of God? Am I putting this before the work of God? Am I putting it before the tools of God, the principles of God, the morals of God? Judge yourself. Judge yourself. This is why I speak to myself. This is why I was calling Apostle 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I got one more thing to say to you, Apostle. Wait a minute. You know what I was thinking? because I'm sitting down and I'm processing things. I'm like, and this is what I say, do to myself. I process my day before I go to bed. Unless I'm really, really exhausted, and then I land like, "Good night, Jesus." Thank you, Father God. Right, but if not, I sit there and sometimes when you, I don't know if this happened to you all, when you're really, really tired, like you're just thinking all the time, and I'm like, "Oh, but I'm so tired." That's why I was telling Pastor, I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep, but my brain won't shut off. I'm just thinking about too many things, right? Right. And this is what I sit and I was like, okay, you know what, Marcel, you could have done this better. You could have said this better. You could have maneuvered this better. Judge yourself. Is this pleasing to God? Am I really walking in the principles of God? Is God giving me an applaud? Right? I told Mother P the other day, I said, I'm proud of you. I'm talking about the people. I be like, I know what's going on with this little girl. I said, I'm proud of you. You kept yourself together. I'm proud of you. Right? So again, so remember, mic check brings you back in focus. It brings you back in focus. It makes sure it allows you to check that your sound quality is good. It allows you to check that your volume is good. It gives you the feedback. So mic check yourself. Judge yourself. Mic check yourself to make sure everything blends well. So there's no feedback. So something is not louder than the other thing. So that the quality is good. Not only good to us, not only good to yourself, but good to those that are around you. Right? So I hope something I said makes sense today. I hope that you were, or at least blessed. It felt good. I hope that you learned something today as we mic check ourselves. And we literally got our mic, so we mic checked it, right? So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Put yourself to the test. You don't want to know yourself, you may fail. Come on, Props Loretta. Props Loretta. Preaching a sermon up in here. All right, thank you all so much. I love it. Appreciate it. Let me pray for you before we go. Lord, I thank you for your people. I thank you, Lord, that you keep them. Thank you that you continue to be with them. I thank you, God, as they might check themselves and might check their lives, that they will find the sound quality. They will adjust the volume. They will be aware of the feedbacks. Lord, I pray that you continue to bless them, keep them, put your hands on them as always. I thank you for your people in Jesus' name. Amen. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, love, and share. And I'll see you all here next week. God bless you. Love you. Mwah. Bye now.